Okay? Cover
Okay.
them.
Will you stop telling me what to do?
No.
You want to see us fight on camera?
I don't need that using this People's Evidence Exhibit A.
Hey everyone, he's Mick.
She's Stephanie.
And this is...
The Poly Vlog.
Dun dun dun!
We are being silly today.
Just a little.
But today's episode is about kids anyway.
Yes.
Not making them.
No.
Coming out to them. We are going to be talking about how to broach the subject of your polyamorous lifestyle with children. Specifically your children, not just like random kids on the street.
Hey! You know, just walk outside and be like, yo! Edward, down the street.
Get off your scooter! Come here!
I want you to meet this person.
No, wouldn't work like that. Frankly, their parents might be upset. Now, we're talking about your kids and how to tell them about the polyamorous lifestyle in which you're involved in. Because there are times where certain activities you're going to want to take part in will start to look a little bit suspicious if you don't talk about it.
Yeah.
However, it is important to talk about why. Why would you want to tell your kids anything about your romantic life? Well, the first thing I can think of is that you don't want to have to hide what you're doing. You shouldn't be ashamed of being polyamorous. You should want to be true to yourself. And part of that is being open and honest about your lifestyle. And that starts at home.
One of the biggest reasons to come out to your kids is they're going to notice the changes around them, like schedule changes and behavior changes. And you don't want them jumping to the assumption that somebody is having an affair.
Right.
Or that somebody is being dishonest.
Or being anywhere near less than ethical.
Right.
So coming out to them is important because you need them to know that everything's okay. That mom and dad aren't heading toward divorce.
Right.
And that everything is consensual.
So after you know why you should come out to your children, here are a few tips on how to come out to your children.
Well, the first thing I would do is give them the chance to come to you. If you've created an environment that is open for the asking of anything that they need to know, then as things subtly begin to change, but allow them to notice the changes and ask you about them.
Yeah, you need to create a safe space, a safe environment for your children to come to you. You need to create a place where they feel confident in coming to you with questions.
Because if you start to create an environment where you act like what you're doing is scandalous, shameful, they're not going to be comfortable asking you about it.
If you allow your children to come to you and address if they notice and they come to you and address your outside relationships, ask them if they have any questions.
It's important to make sure that they have a full understanding, and asking them follow-up questions about anything they're asking you, was that good? Just gives a better, thorough understanding.
It encourages their curiosity, but it also helps to build their understanding.
Now, if you have given them the opportunity to ask about this, and things are changing, and maybe you've even noticed that they notice the changes, but they're still not addressing it directly by asking you about it, you may want to sit them down and actually ask them, have you noticed that I've been spending more time with Sally? Did you realize that she's a special friend of mine? These kind of things. And ask them, did you notice? And what do you think? And then try to explain it to them. It's okay to address the situation with your kids.
In addressing it, you need to provide age and person appropriate information.
Right.
There are definitely, some things that you're not going to tell a young child.
Well, you know your kids best.
Yeah.
And so tell them what they need to know, but don't tell them anything beyond Don't get into details.
Yeah, they don't need to know the details. Remember when you're talking to your kids to stay relaxed and honest. Keep the environment calm. Don't be ashamed of your other partners or your love style.
Right. You don't want to give the impression that what you're doing is illicit or somehow immoral. So don't apologize.
Set a good example.
And don't act like it's a shameful thing.
Lastly,
Most importantly,
do not ask your children to keep your secrets for you. If you are not out publicly and you don't trust them with this information, don't give them this information.
conversely, it is not wrong to give your child information about what goes on in your home and tell them that it's not always appropriate to share it outside the house. There are things that go on in everybody's home that you have to start teaching your kids that it's not okay to talk. The point is that it's okay to trust your kids with information that maybe not be public knowledge. But if you are not out to some members of your family, it may not be totally ethical to ask them to keep secrets from people that they love.
Yes, your secrets are not your children's burden, and you should not ask them to keep them for you.
So if you're open, honest,
Unashamed.
and you address the situation with the appropriate language and amount of detail to your children and their age, I think you're going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Children are more resilient than you think.
If my daughter has grown up in this environment and she just accepted it, that people love each other, and didn't ask a whole lot of questions until she got to an age where she could draw comparisons between her friends' households and her own.
My kids just don't want their father and I to get a divorce.
Which is not going to happen. But.
No.
Well, and at the end of it, kids just want to make sure that everything is okay, that people still love each other, that their entire understanding of their family is not threatened.
Right. And they also need to know that they didn't do anything to prompt this.
Right. That a lot of times
their
when
parents still love them.
Exactly. And at the same time, kids understand love and they'll adapt to the situations and are generally pretty accepting. They haven't had a lifetime of experience in order to tell them that something is either wrong or right.
Right.
So thanks so much for watching. If this was your first time viewing the Poly Vlog, please click the subscribe button and click that like button if you like today's video. We post here every Tuesday and Thursday in our continual effort to promote polyamory as a healthy and conscious loving choice.
Please check the description box below for links to our website, Facebook, and Twitter, and then head on over to Facebook and follow us there. Until next time,
Love abundantly.